Hey, if you have an auto tuner and you've got some kind of cool box or ECU or some wideband O2 sensors that are tuning your motorcycle for you, who does this timing map? What do you use for timing? So let's say you got some really cool products that set your air fuel ratio. You go in and type it, or your tuner guy says, I want 14.7 at cruise, and I want 12.8 at wide open throttle at max RPM and max load. All right, so, and it's got some kind of averaging between there to give you the air fuel ratio you want. To me, air fuel ratio is only one of the things that are very important on tuning, and the timing is so huge. So if you have your motorcycle where it runs, say, 12.8 to 1 or 0.8 lambda at full throttle, full RPM, and you make peak horsepower there, and you've moved the air fuel everywhere, and you've moved the timing everywhere to get peak horsepower so you can go the fastest down the track. Out of 100% of use that you use on your engine, how many percent of that is used in that tune? In other words, that tune is good for 2, 3, 4, 5% of your tune. The rest of it, maybe it works with your auto tune, but who tunes the timing map? Who sets the lead where the spark lights off at the right time for the throttle position, the map load, the load on the engine, and the RPM? Who sets that timing curve for you? So let's just say that you have it tuned and you got some generic timing map in it. And if you're going down the highway at part throttle, 80 miles an hour in high gear, and the engine's just cruising along, say 3,000, 2,500, 3,000 RPM. What is the ignition timing right there? And what is the air fuel right there? And if you have not dynoed in that range and you run it in that range, let's say we go 10 miles, 20 miles, 30 miles, and it's got too little timing because the guy put a generic map in it where he's got 25 or 28 degrees in the whole map, it's going to overheat the engine because running the timing that low at part throttle and part load. And then what's the air fuel ratio at part throttle, part load, low RPM? What's the air fuel ratio there? So there's so much more to dyno tuning than just wide open throttle and max RPM. So auto tuner guys, look, I'm not a big fan of auto tuners. I understand their value, I understand, but please don't put all your eggs in that basket. A good dyno tune, well, having a dyno doesn't make you a good tuner. Being a good tuner without a dyno, it's like a guy, a mechanic with no tools, or a mechanic with tools, but he doesn't know how to use them. So it's got to be a good combination. So it's really important for you, if you have a high performance or a modified Harley Davidson and you put a generic map in, or an internet map that comes from the motor company or from one of our competitors or even from us, you get a map. George, give me a map for my bike. I got this pipe, I got this cam, well, I'm gonna tell you something. Who knows where that lines up? Who knows? It's supposed to have this much. The part I email and the part you get in the email that you download out of the map, you download it in your bike. What's the timing? What's the air fuel? And what is it at each throttle? It takes me 5 to 6 hours to do a good tune on one. Idle tune, part throttle tuning, more throttle, more RPM, high map loads, low RPM, high map loads, low RPM, low map load at high RPM. I mean, it's just so convoluted to assume that you got something right on the internet that will work.